So I focus a lot of time on physical health, but today I wanted to talk about, how do we stay sharp mentally as we age and get older? And for me, I lead a very busy life. I think, as most of you know on my channel, I'm a contractor, and so I'm super busy. I mean, my wife says I'm a fireman because all I do is put out fires, which is true. If you've ever been in the building, all of my building friends know it's a constant. And so my day gets really busy, my week gets really busy. So when I add all my work and my family and trying to, do things around the house, etc., it's I stay very busy and my mind gets very full. And so one of the things I've practiced over the years to kind of keep my things in focus is I'll break out a puzzle and I'll sit down, probably 1,000 piece, and piece by piece, part by part, little by little, I'll start organizing that picture. And that's one of the ways that I deal with my mental, organization. And so today I want to talk about ways that we can stay sharp mentally as we age. And good morning, everybody. I'm Bryant, over 60 guy. I'm on my morning walk. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I like to talk about things that are relevant to people approaching their 60s and their 60s, over 60s. And so I put out a challenge a while back to kind of a physical challenge, and a lot of my regulars are on that challenge. So for all of my regulars on the challenge, welcome. I hope you're out there on your walk, doing your push-ups, your squats, eating right, and staying away from sugar, the devil. So this morning I want to talk about this important topic. So I like to take a little mid-break on my walk, and I'm speaking of mental clarity, I make notes. So anyways, I got my notes. But so let's talk about mental sharpness and ways to stay sharp mentally. I mean, just like in the physical, where you've seen people, like yesterday I was at the Lowe's getting materials, and there was a gentleman, quite overweight and hunched over, and he's older, probably in his 60s, 70s, I don't know, but everything was difficult for him. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want you to be like that. I want you to be strong physically and strong mentally, strong spiritually and emotionally. And so I don't really talk much about mental sharpness, but some of the things that I've discovered, and I just do some research, mental sharpness is, we have to stay mentally stimulated. We need to engage in challenges, such as the puzzle I talked about. Puzzles or Sudoku or crossword or word search. These are all good ways of, exercising your brain, staying fit, reading, learning a new language. There's a new AI app out there that says they can teach you a new language very quickly. I almost have been thinking about maybe doing that, and kind of letting everybody know how it's going for me. Have you ever thought about learning a different language? I know some of you probably are bilanguage or can speak a lot of them, but have you ever thought about learning a new language? And if you did, what would it be? Maybe you could drop a comment. And also, what kind of things do you do? Do you play chess? Do you build puzzles? Do you read a lot? The only time I ever read is when I go on vacation, and my wife will either say, "Hey, what book did you buy for the trip?" So, because she knows the only time I can ever read a book is when I go on vacation. Other than in the morning, I'll read the Bible, and I do like to read Proverbs every day. Proverbs a day keeps the devil away, right? It's just, it's a good way. So one of the other things that we can do is stay socially engaged. Do not retreat into yourself. Do not retreat into your house, into your room, we talked to a dear friend of ours, and she's got really, it's a bad relationship, and she finds herself trapped in her bedroom. I mean, it's horrible. Don't be like that. Don't you know, stay unengaged. One of the things you can do is volunteer. You know, if you go to church or you're part of a group like a VFW or something like that, you can choose to volunteer. Stay engaged, stay active. You know, spend time with friends and family. Do not isolate yourself, because when you isolate yourself, that creates, you know, depression, loneliness. So you don't want to do that. So some of these are pretty obvious. So stay stimulated mentally. You know, don't isolate yourself. And then also the things that I talk a lot about is, and this is in my research, in my notes, it says physical activity, exercise. Exercise benefits for both physical and mental health. It can stimulate the growth of new brain cells and help reverse the effects of aging. So as you know, your body reduplicates itself, you know, every like 6 months or so. So it's regenerating itself, and that's the brain as well. And so stay active, stay stimulated, you know, be physical. If you don't have a regular routine, a physical, I wish you'd go back and check out my videos. I talk a lot about physical health. And so the other thing is a healthy diet. We talk about that as well. Eating a balanced diet of fruits, vegetables, healthy fats. I'm going to do a video on healthy fats coming up. And that all contributes to brain health and memory. Brain health and memory. We don't want to go into our old age losing our memory, you know, being unsharp. You know, I mean, you see it all the time, and I'm saying right now is the time when you need to put into practice these things, so that when you're in your 80s and 90s, you'll stay, you know, you'll have the best memory, you'll have the best mental acuity, you'll be physical. There's a gentleman in my neighborhood, he walks all the time, and I'm trying to round him up for an interview. I think he's in his late 70s, and he's just, man, that guy is a walker. Very sharp too. So healthy diet, that's the third thing. Sleep, get good sleep. Don't get a lot of sleep, don't like sleep all the time, but you know, get yourself a good amount of sleep, you know, 6 hours a night or something like that. I try to get 6 to 8. You know, so sleep is so important. It helps you with your overall health and your cognitive function. And stress management. Learn to manage your stress through practice like, you know, meditation and prayer. Some people do yoga. They do a lot of stuff to help manage your stress. Deep breathing, you know, breathe in, hold it, breathe out. You know, try stuff like that. That'll help you with stress management. And then learn new skills. Take on your challenges, kind of like the learning of the new language. That I think there's an AI app out there that'll help you learn it, or maybe take on an instrument. I'm terribly musically challenged. I tried to play guitar once, it just doesn't work. I don't have it, or piano or anything that. So people that can do that kind of stuff, I really envy. We went to see our neighbor's son, Victor, and he's a blues guy, and oh my gosh, he's just so gifted, man. Wow. Anyway, he's just powerful. He's so talented with music. So if you don't know how to learn an instrument, maybe learn a new skill. It definitely keeps your brain active and resilient. And then sensory stimulation. Engage in senses. Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch can help stimulate the brain and enhance memory. So grab those sensory stimulations. You know, some people, I remember my aunt used to like scratch my cousin's like arms and stuff to stimulate. You know, are you anybody familiar with that? So are there ways that you can do that? And also, if you have mental health issues, then seek professional help. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be, you know, we live in this is 2025, for goodness sake. So if you have issues with mental issues, then just seek some professional help, you know. But you know, do whatever you can now. Stay engaged and stay sharp in the brain and stay sharp in the mind. It's just so important. It's so important. So lots of different ways that you can do to stay mentally sharp. You know, mental stimulation, like we talked about. social engagement, like we talked about, physical activity, like we talked about, a healthy diet, good sleep, stress management, learning new skills, sensory stimulation, and if you have to, seek mental health, seek a professional, which is great. So I've been putting getting a lot of comments out there on my posts, and I try to answer them right away. And so if you have any comments on this topic, I appreciate anything that you could offer. That'd be certainly great. I know a lot of the people on the Over 60 crew here, they'll dig into the comments and they'll even comment on others, which is great. But if you think this is valuable information, or just a channel, like it's a break. I mean, listen, I don't have a lot of bells and whistles on my channel, as you can tell. It's just me walking and talking and sharing. But sometimes those are kind of fun. Like for me, I'll sit and watch the guy mowing the lawns. Have you ever watched that? The guys who clean up, like pressure wash and do that. It's captivating, So maybe my talking is like that, like the guy mowing the grass, So, or maybe it just helps you get motivated. Whatever it is, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing. So today I ask that God would bless you and keep you. May the Lord's face shine upon you and give you peace. I'm the Over 60 guy, Bryant, and I pray that you'll have a great day. God bless.